Okay guys, a video this time about aiming. Now I'm no way a master in aiming, except I'm absolutely the opposite, but I think I still can learn you something. This is for like complete noobs like me. If you've seen my other videos, I'm a pretty good base builder, and that's basically what I am. I'm just a farmer and a builder because I play a lot solo a lot, so I don't really have a team to play with. But I made friends with a neighbor today, and he was really like a roamer, and he just farms people from the game and for their stuff. And we went together, and I had just a DB with me, but we're in a fight with some guy, fully geared with an LR, and I sneaked up on him and boom, shot him with the DB while he was trying to heal up. So he was pretty impressed by that, but by no means I'm not really good at like medium distance with assault rifles. I've done a lot with let's say like with the bolty and stuff from towers. Mostly that's mostly my like base defense. I'm not roof camping guys, just base defense. But yeah, if somebody just kills me while I'm harvesting, I'll take my revenge, to get my stuff back. But I'm not roof camping. But yeah, so the most of my action PvP was been from like big towers, sniping on raiders that was trying to raid our bases. So for nothing that I already have a sniper scope equipped on pretty much every gun I have here, and this is like 300 at the outpost. This sniper, it's pretty good. As you see, there's a lot of, you have these little lines underneath where you can measure how far the drop is, because of course your bullets will drop. Like if I try to hit this guy in the head, you heard I did shot him, I hit him, but it was not a headshot. This was a headshot. So to get a headshot I actually have to aim above his head, and then if you see like the second from the bottom, that's where the headshot is. Now if I would aim any higher like this, I would of course aim too high, you see, because his head is here. Like normally you would expect it to be the center, but that's only for a very close distance, and as you can see we're at a very long distance now. So yeah, so and the bullet it is like real physics that's in this game that they try to emulate. So the bullet will drop from, if you look where my cursor is on the stone wall, where normally it should be, it drops like, let's say like 50 centimeters, 40, 50 centimeters. Yeah. Boom, then you hit his head. Now to find out how much you have to aim for that, to find out, you have to look at the guy and then just make a good guess. Now you know that if you're going to do this, you're probably going to aim too low. You can aim above his head like this or this, because you know, if you have experience, that when this guy is this far away, it's going to be a bullet drop. Now it might be a bullet drop like this, might be a bullet drop like this, or like this. Now it could be like this even, but that's a huge bullet drop. And like if you just have this guy in your you want to of course hit him on the first time. So I think that's why this experience from like training, where you have to you get to learn how much you have to do the drop, right? So you now this is pretty much stuff that I already knew. I was pretty good at this. So yep. So once you know that, but yeah, of course in the beginning you don't know that, so the first shot you probably have to be like, you don't need to do it on the head because there's going to be a bullet drop. You don't want to do it like this because yeah, that's way off, because you already know that, but you probably can estimate that's going to be way off. Now you don't know it's this, so maybe you want to be just a bit above the head like this. Now you don't hear a headshot, so you know that was and you do, you know, you hit him, so you know you can go a bit higher. Yeah, let's say do like this. Again, I don't know what I heard there. And that's how you just have to try it out. Okay, but like I say, that's a lot of experience, so that's why it's good to like go in a range like this and just get, because there are different ranges here. It's like there's like the 50 small range, this is 125. Next one is 150. So just get an idea of how far you can, how far the bullet drop is. So that's like lesson 1, which pretty for me was not new, like I knew that already. But the thing that what you want, of course, is if you look at the weapon I have now, the semi-automatic, it's like it shoots like once, and then yeah, it's not like an automatic rifle where you can just keep. You have multiple hits. Now, of course, the LR is like 500 scrap. Together with the scope would be 700 scrap. So I think you might not always have that. But like the semi-automatic, which pretty much can do the same thing, you know, you can still have an headshot. It just, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Only with the LR you might have a few more. LR is pretty good. And AK is also really good, but it's even more difficult to learn to control. So you need to spend a lot of time learning the AK. And since the semi-automatic, it still does decent damage. It's like 40 damage, same as the LR. And if you look at AK is 50, so 50 and 40 is not that big a deal. So yeah, I'm not so like semi-automatic. If you're a good player, can still make you some kills, but the problem is, of course, the time. Now you can shoot really quick, but as you see, you just go up. So once you shoot, you need to go down, and that takes time. Let's try this other one. Now if you want to land a headshot every time, it's gonna be slow. Okay, so how can you make it so that you do multiple attacks this quick while this thing always goes in the air, you know? Like this is where it lands. Now that's nowhere near, you can't even see the guy anymore. You have to go all the way down and then aim there again. Now you can do that, but like I was showing you, this is much faster. So now I'm not a great shot, so I'm able to hit this guy this quick so many times in a row, you know. And because I'm talking, it's a bit harder for me than I was doing a bit better earlier. But let me show you how to do it. So the whole thing about aiming hitting somebody is you have to, of course, your cursor is going to move, and you have to move it back on the person. Now I already told you that if you just move it back on the person, where you might hit him, but you're not going to do a headshot because the headshot is here. So of course you have to move it like this. Now that takes a lot of concentration. So there's a few tricks. So let's go to the basics. So what do we actually have on the crosshair? Well, we can go up and down and left and right. So, oh wow, like I didn't know that. But look at the guy. The guy is tall and he is not very wide. So his height from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet is much more than from the left his left arm to his right arm. So this thing is much more harder to get into this zone, especially when it comes to his head. This zone, and this is his head, so these zones, like this is a small zone, and this is his whole body. But to get in this zone is harder than to come into this zone, like up and down, from top to bottom, top to bottom. So what I focus on when I get out of view, the first thing is to get centered on his body, the center of his body. You see? Like I'm not centering, I'm centering the vertical on his body. See what I'm saying? So like I end up here, first thing I do, bring it back to there. Because this is the hardest part, like I said. His left to right, his arms are the smallest. So to hit him between his arms, on his body, on his arms, on his head, on his legs, is the hardest to find his center. Now this guy is going to be running, walking, so your first number one focus should be his center between his body. Not this center, you know, not this center, but this center. You see there are two centers. This is the center, the vertical line. This is the horizontal line. Now this is also his center, like his gut here is his center for the horizontal line. Yeah, that's the line that's lying down, and the standing up line is the vertical line. Yeah, I'm saying it so everybody understands. Okay, now going up and down, you see we have a wide range, like we have all the way from the top of his head to the bottom. So when I'm going here, I'm not going to be worried if I'm gonna be here or I'm gonna be here, because I mean I pretty much can, as soon as I hit his, as soon as the horizontal, you know, the line that's lying down, as soon as that hits his head, I know I'm gonna hit his body, because even here I'm gonna hit his body. Remember, this is when I hit his body. So once I go down here, I'm certainly gonna hit his body. Now the problem is gonna be when I'm here, because I told you, like because his head is, the bullet's gonna drop. So if I shoot now, I'm not gonna hit his toe, I'm gonna hit the ground. You see, no hit marker, because I need to at least, to hit his toe like I was hitting his head, I have to go like 2 down. You see, the second stripe down. So this could hit his toe. Let's try it. Yes, now I'm hitting his toe, but if I go a bit lower, now why am I saying this? So I have to go between this. I'm just concentrate on the horizontal line, the line that's lying down. Okay, so somewhere from here, yeah, somewhere from here to, let's say, about here. Wow, that's just like almost just a little bit below his crotch, right? No, yeah, am I saying it right? No, it's just above his knees. Yeah, so I can go from above his knees to above his head. So if I go from here and I'm here to here, I can shoot, because it might not be a headshot. Now it would be nicer like to hit him, like shoot when I'm here, because then I might actually have a headshot. So my gun is going to go here or anywhere, but I'm bringing it back to the center. That's my first one, and then I drag it down until I'm here, and then I can start shooting until I reach this point above his knees. So this from here to here is all good. This is all good from here, the top of his head, to the top of his knees. Now don't look at the center, look at the second line from the center. Like you see that it's now on his, it's touching his knees, and now it's touching the top of his head. So if I hit it here, should be doing something. Yep. And then I'm pretty safe to shoot from here. Yeah, to hit his body. So, and that's how you can do it really, like, and remember, the guy is running. and it's a semi-automatic, so it's not that powerful. It's like 40. Now you see, I don't even try to make headshots, but I do get them once in a while. And this you of course you have to practice like 1,000 times until you're like perfect at it. But this is kind of the technique. It's like you have to shoot when the lines, the vertical and the horizontal line, are in those areas. Yeah. Now normally it would be nice if you could just use the crosshairs where they cross. I mean, you can do that. You will pretty much always hit his body. It's even easier. You see? Probably good to start with that. But then after you master that, I mean, it gets pretty boring. Now what I'm doing now, I'm just dragging my mouse down the mouse mat. I have pretty big mouse mat. And I'm not like, I'm hardly trained. I'm just starting to train, right? Like I need to get a lot better with this. Because it's like, it's gonna get automatic. And it has to be automatic where you're not just hitting his body, where you're getting headshots, right? But at least a body shot, because a couple of body shots will kill him too, and maybe like one headshot's not gonna kill him. You need a body shot, at least a body shot and a headshot. And you see, this is pretty fast, I mean, for semi-automatic. And this is easier to do than, let's say, try to master an AK or something. Okay, let's try it with an AK, and I'm told you, like, guys, I'm not good with an AK. So don't expect me. It's the same technique. Now the AK has a strange spray. Let me try it. Yeah. So to shoot somebody at this distance with an AK, I just do small bursts, because unless you're like an incredible master where you know exactly how to master that spray, and that's like you have to buy like some like PvP god or something to do that. Maybe one day, I don't know if I even want to learn that. But you can see I do the same technique as I do with the semi-automatic, but this time I'm hitting like 2, maybe 3 times. Look at my accuracy, 61%, headshots 37. So let's try it with just with the AK. This technique is even helping me get good at the AK, you know. And I'm using here the AK as a sniper rifle now. But you can understand that if somebody would be closer by, it's so much more easy. So if you can do it from like 125 meters, you can definitely do it from 50 meters, you know. So just practice on the hardest course, on the hardest, longest distance that you can manage, and first try to hit that guy, and then really quickly try to focus on. Don't be too happy with hitting him. Go for once you are able to hit the guy, go for the headshots. Because they do like, I think there are twice double damage headshots. I don't know. It's yeah. So like this thing is 50. That's 100 damage, and even with the face masks, which takes a lot of the damage off, like you will need a couple of headshots. So you see, the same things applies to an AK as it applies to no, LR. I love the OR. You see, it doesn't jump like here. It means you can even do this quicker than you can do it with an AK, and a lot easier. And I like, because like I'm sliding down the mouse mat, and the higher it goes, the more I have to slide down, and that means eventually I reach the end of my desk, and I need to like take time to like reset my mouse, and then I need to refocus. So that's like complete one or two shoot cycles that I missed from there. So you can see this is way better than, for me this is better than AK. I don't know, I don't want to fight with people who think that AK is the ultimate best weapon in the game or something. It's not, that's my experience right now at this moment. I know the AK has more damage, and the LR has the same damage as as what have I just done? Did I drop it? It doesn't matter. Oh, there it is. So it has the same damage as the semi. So basically, if you're really good at this, and you do a couple of headshots, you almost be as good with the semi as with LR. But LR is of course a much better weapon to have. Now let's try something different. Let's go for the Python. Now the Python has a huge kick and a huge bullet drop. So let's try just like on the head. Boom, look how far it goes up. And I don't even know, I can't even see the bullet. So I just have to hope. This is like gonna be impossible, I think. Actually, I was doing it there. Let me just do where I was. I don't even know the distance from that one, but I was able to do it. So I can just continue it like my. I knew that if I did like this, I was able to get some hits, I think. Yes, you heard that hit. So like the bullet drop is so far that I have to do about this. You see? And it's really hard because you do not see the bullet because it goes up so far and so high. But imagine having trained with this weapon. But yeah, I don't know if you're gonna do like a 300 scrap scope on your headshot with the Python. So this is just using the all the information I just gave you. See, I'm focused on the center of his body because, like you see, like the vertical line is on his head. Now it's hard for me to know exactly in the beginning where he is, but I just knew that if I yeah, again touching his crotch with the bottom of this the thick black line is like in the center of his body, you see, and then I can sometimes get headshots or at least hit him. Well, anyway, I already did it. It's really too left. I hit him. At least I hit him. And but look at this, how far he is, this guy. And I have a Python. You know, a Python is 72 range. So yeah, you need to. But if you have to practice and know exactly what you're doing, I'm just happy to hit him. You know. Boom. So once you have the experience and practice, you can just am I going to hide? Let me see. Now you know that this one is a lot closer, although it's pretty far away for a Python. But there's going to be some bullet drop. Okay, I got it. So it's the second line. So I'm just above his head now. So if that touches his head, yes. So first find the center of his body. Yeah. This is your first thing. Find the center of his body, and then find where you want to hit him, and then know where like the center of the real center of your crosshair is. And that's this is like now I'm exactly on his head. Yes. And then you can. Wow, this is pretty hard with Python. Replicate it and become good at it. Oh, why is this so hard? I'm trying to do it fast. Is it not? I'm not even hitting him, am I? Maybe I was too high. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah. I mean, it's more like the second line has to touch his chin, I think, probably. Yeah. Like the original crosshair, in the center of the screen, it needs to just be touching his head. Now I can replicate the headshots like this, but if I would like put it on his chin, yeah, it would hit his body, not his head. So yeah, you can just lightly tap the top of his head with your like normal crosshair. You don't need to use actually the boom. So if you see a guy on this distance and you have a Python with the 300 scrap scope 16 times on it, you know how to give him a headshot. Just aim just for the top of his head. Wow. Oh yeah, that's another thing. The accuracy. So the Python is accuracy, his range, his accuracy is 6. Now if you compare that, let's say like a Bolty, accuracy 2. Oh, deviation. So this has a deviation of 2. And this has a deviation of 6. AK 4. So that's more in between. This accuracy 7. So the higher the number, the less deviation, accuracy 2. So the real sniper rifles have accuracy of 2. And like let's say the really crappy guns, this is accuracy of 5. This is actually not bad, but this has a very low range. So after when you go over the range, the accuracy really like starts to drop. So let's say I'm gonna end this video soon. Now this is the same story. Find the center. Find the 2 centers, or center of his head and the center of his the body, in between his arms. Make sure first go in between his arms, and then make sure you're not too far above his head. And then practice until you can do this with multiple headshots in a row. Now I'm getting in concentration, but it needs to be automatic. Now I haven't even trained this that much, but you see, it's not that hard, and you can even just now you're gonna hit less when you up to speed, because if you're gonna shoot like this in a game, you're gonna be dead real quick. So you need to probably shoot like this and then have a couple of those hit. Anyway, that's enough for this. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you have a beautiful day and lots of love. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Give me a like if you like it. Subscribe, because I'm doing lots of Rust videos, and I'm gonna continue my training to become better as PvP and not just be like a farmer and a builder. Although I can make indestructible solo bases, but yeah, I need to do some more roaming and have fun raiding. And yeah, I'm making friends with clans and guys who can shoot, and they see how I build and they respect that. And I told this other guy, look, I'm not the greatest at PvP, but I want to do more PvP. He said, oh, come with me in Rome. And we had a great time. So sadly I didn't record it, but next time I will record it and we'll show you guys. Okay, bye bye, lots of love.